Did you know that ChatGPT is surprisingly good at domain-driven design? Let me share with you 5 simple tips and you'll be able to create a diagram like this in a few minutes. Let's get started. The first and most important step is to provide context to the AI. We need to achieve 3 goals with the first prompt. Describe the domain as clearly as possible. Define few concrete use cases that the domain is meant to support. Set expectations. Here is one example showcasing the first prompt I used to kickstart a brainstorming session with ChatGPT. Notice how I took the time to present the problem rather than just asking a direct question without context. This is because the quality of the AI's response depends heavily on the clarity and completeness of our prompt. When we provide clear and specific details, we help the AI understand our goals and focus. By outlining our expectations, we guide the AI towards generating responses that meet our needs. Finally, when we describe the domain, use cases, or context clearly, we minimize ambiguity, which reduces the potential of errors in the response. The second tip is to ask ChatGPT to create diagrams as code. Tools like Mermaid or PlantUML are ideal for visualizing domain with clear representation of entities, value objects, and their relationships. They also allow ChatGPT to leverage its coding capabilities to generate diagrams instead of relying on tools like DALL-E or ASCII, which tend to produce poor results. The third tip is to iterate and itemize your feedback. ChatGPT won't generate a perfect domain model on the first try. It needs your input and guidance over several iterations to get it right. While I spend time providing as much context as possible in the first prompt, I keep my feedback concise and itemized in the follow-up prompts. This goal is to guide the AI in addressing specific issues or concerns without overwhelming it. This prevents ChatGPT from introducing new problems while trying to fix existing ones. Sometimes the AI can get off track and start producing lower quality responses. Once that happens, there's no way to recover, and you'll have to restart the brainstorming session. The fourth tip is to use the O1 Preview ChatGPT model. After comparing 4o and O1 Preview on the same domain modeling exercises multiple times, I found that O1 Preview consistently produces better results with fewer iterations. For instance, it only took 4 iterations for O1 Preview to generate this diagram. This happens because O1 Preview takes more time to think before responding, breaking down the listening process into stages we can access once the response is complete. This works perfectly with our itemized feedback approach, guiding the AI to consider multiple angles before answering. Released just a month ago, OpenAI claims that O1 Preview can reason through complex tasks and solve harder problems, performing on par with PhD students in areas like science, coding, and math. Can you guess the final tip? This one is simple. Once you finish designing the domain model, ask ChatGPT to translate it into your favorite programming language. This can save you time, though keep in mind that the generated code won't be exceptional. It usually produces stubs, but they're a great starting point for implementing business logic in your entities and value objects, without having to define everything from scratch. To sum it all up, we've seen just how far AI has come even in complex areas like domain-driven design. Will we lose our jobs? That's hard to say, but one thing is certain, we need to adapt to a new way of working with these tools and create new ones around them. That's why I'm sharing these tips with you. The capabilities of the O1 Preview model are already incredible, but let me clarify. O1 Preview is not ChatGPT 5 as some might think. According to many, a new model is in development and its size will dwarf even ChatGPT 4. This likely means even more accuracy and the ability to solve more complex problems. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like my content, you can also visit my website. I offer support one-on-one, but I have very limited availability. Don't forget to like and share the video so that everyone can learn something new.